He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
car. Roses would be...
Like I put my beer belly on it.
You can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have.
You'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns. What's right? I want to have a man's coolant.
And he's like, oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light.
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West.
Internet. Is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
Very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke. Welcome to Auto Off Topic. Hello, Brad. How are you?
Andrew, I'm wonderful. How are you? I also promised this week for the couple of people who mentioned it, there will be 100% less dog tapping in the background.
Sure.
I guess it was loud last week, and
I didn't think it came through, but apparently it did. So
apparently it did. Yeah. So I just wanted to get that out there quickly. Couple people mentioned it to me. One person mentioned that they were upset by the dog tapping and all the talking about Toyota Camrys. I can't promise there won't be any Camry talk, but I can promise there won't be any dog tapping.
Yeah. Those dogs have been fired. So
sacked, as they say.
Yeah. So see, that's what happened. You sent them off.
Yeah. I sent them off just because our listeners said. I sent them off to the great dog. I blew the joke already because what do you call it when you put your dog off? Sent out to the farm.
To the farm.
Yeah, to the farm. Sent out to the farm. So now how do you feel for complaining about your free entertainment? I had to send my dogs to the farm. Actually, they're in the living room. I just closed the door. They're not in the farm. They're good.
No. All right.
I'm not cruel.
Enough dog talk.
Enough dog killing talk.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's cold and flu season. Been going around the house, so trying to get through it.
I gotcha. Hopefully it's not cold and flu season here anytime soon, because I got a lot of stuff to do, and I don't want to get sick. So.
Yeah. Well, the good news is this is a remote, and I can't get you sick. So
It's true. I'm sure somebody is working on a way to transmit biological weapons through the internet, so...
Sure.
Somehow it'll happen. Be like Wonka Vision.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting that time of year. It was Thanksgiving weekend, so I did all the winter tires on all the cars, and that's about all I've done with cars. So I'm going to
it's something.
Lean heavily onto you for this episode.
That's a big project. Well, unfortunately, this episode is going to be a little light on the car project content because it was Thanksgiving week and I was out of town. So I didn't get much done in between last episode and this episode, unfortunately. So that's how it works. We have family that lives in Oklahoma and we went there for Thanksgiving. So we were there Tuesday through Sunday, which is a pretty hefty part of the week. So unfortunately, no car work was done. So stay tuned to next week for hefty car updates because there will be a lot done in the next upcoming week, thankfully. So, is what it is. But there is plenty of stuff to talk about. Number one, we did a road trip in the new vehicle. So that's something, right?
It is
Maybe
something.
not super exciting, but we did something. So we did right around 2,000 miles round trip in the new car. So,
yeah,
which is pretty crazy because that's a third of the miles on the car we did in 1 week. But so because of that, we're already at like 6,000 miles. But yeah, I mean, nothing to really report. It was successful. A timing belt didn't break or anything like my last road trip. So we made it back in one piece. I will say there is a minor annoyance that the vehicle has that somebody needs to get to the bottom of. It seems to be an occurrence that everybody is experiencing with these vehicles and not just the Maverick, but Fords in general, is that the Android Auto sometimes just freezes up.
Yeah.
And you have to do a hard reboot on the actual screen by pushing the power button and the fast forward button together. So that's frustrating. It happened. Like, if it happened once, it would have been like, whatever, it's annoying. But it happened like over the course of those 2,000 miles, like 9 times.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with like, the version that's on the car, because it's basically like kind of like an Android tablet sitting in there. And then whatever version's on your phones is a little bit different. So
Yeah, sure, there's some
going to
stupid
find
thing.
Somebody's going to do some sort of patch.
Well, the
on
annoying
either
thing
end.
is, I mean, because it's not like it's a Samsung tablet. Like, I don't want to say it's a Ford tablet, but it's whoever Ford gets to build them the cheapest, right? So
Yeah.
it's going to be basically like if you went to Walmart and bought a $38, Android tablet. That's pretty much what it is. So
Yeah.
it's not of the highest quality because it's, Ford probably was like, cheapest bidder can build these things. And I wish they would just offer like a spot to put a real tablet or something, because it would be much more effective, I think. But whatever, it is what it is. It's a minor,
Maybe.
it's a minor quibble in the world of cars, because other than that, it worked great. So, I mean, the fuel mileage is not as good on the highway as it is around town, just because of the way the hybrid system works. But I mean, I still think we averaged like 37 something miles per gallon the whole time. So
That's still really good.
I have no complaints. No, it's just it averages closer to 50, like 46 and change normally.
Is that an all-wheel drive one or just front-wheel drive?
It is front wheel drive.
Okay.
I don't know if they make an all wheel drive hybrid. They could.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do, though. The only way to get a
No.
hybrid is the EcoBoost. Actually, is it even
Yeah, 'cause
EcoBoost, or is it? I don't even know what the other one is. I only know what ours is. Ours is the hybrid front wheel drive.
Yeah, I was just wondering because the all-track cross-country is like, or just on the highway in general, is like 32 to 33.
Which is still pretty
is
good.
Really good for an all drive car.
Yep. Yeah. My Volkswagen, which was the same basic car, just front wheel drive and diesel as yours, did like 39 or so on a long road trip like that.
Now on the Maverick,
I could break 40 sometimes.
What do they have you running for like tire pressures? Like 38 or something?
Oh, I've never even looked into it, honestly, because I haven't had to think about it.
Oh,
it has
yeah, how many
tire
miles
pressure
on the car?
indicators. So we just turned 6,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
So-
you haven't really. I mean, yeah, occasionally you check them, but it's still.
But I mean,
kinda-
it's got
a brand new
tire
car.
pressure indicators. Like, I haven't really thought about it too much. We drove it into it was 18 degrees at some points during our road trip, and the tire light never came on. So I guess it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
I never
would
thought
have.
about it.
Just me, I would have checked the tire pressure. Like I didn't. I honestly, I think maybe I talked about it here. I never checked the oil in the Volkswagen until I drove it to your house in Phoenix. I'd never checked it before. I just had it changed, and I've never checked it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because it was a brand new car. It wasn't.
Yep.
Whatever. If it was eating oil, not my problem. Going to the dealer.
Yeah, I mean, I opened the hood when we first got the Maverick just to look at it, but I haven't really thought about opening the hood much since then because it's a brand new car.
Yeah.
I will say that where Naomi's sister lives is like a dirt, muddy road.
Mhm.
So we did, or I shouldn't say I should say Naomi cleaned the vehicle as soon as we got back, like that night. Like we drove for 14 hours in one day, got home, unloaded, and she's like, all right, we gotta wash the car because it was a disaster.
I wouldn't even done that. I would have done it the next day, but good for her.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, it was Sunday night and we had to work on Monday, right? So she wanted to get it done, and we went out to the car wash just to rinse it off. We didn't want to do like a full wash. And we have that. I guess this is a Project Car update. We talked about the ceramic coating on the car.
Yeah.
I'm a full believer now. Like the mud that, I don't know if you remember, because you've been to the same place in Oklahoma.
It's like a red. It's like a Georgia red clay.
It's a
That's
red
what probably
clay,
people-
yeah, and it's like almost like a caliche, like a quicksand consistency. Like if you step in it, you sink into it if it's wet. And it was just, the car was just coated on the sides, and the undercarriage and the wheel wells were just brown. And we were able to get the stuff off of, the hard plastics and the paint with just the car wash, like pressure wand. Because again, we're not going to run it through a car wash with brushes because it's got the ceramic coat on it, and you don't polish over the ceramic coat, so you can't like take out scratches and stuff. So you don't want to introduce scratches. But literally just using the car wash pressure sprayer, all the dirt came off, all the bugs came off. Like there was no issue at all. It worked really well. So, huge believer in that. And also it was neat when we were out there because it did get super cold and it was after it rained. So all the water on the car was in these like little fine beads, and it just froze in the car in like this cool little like frozen bead pattern. It was just neat to look at. But yeah, I'm a full believer in the ceramic coating now for sure.
It's not snake oil. It works really well.
Yeah, no, it works really well. It's just for the price, I never really knew what you were getting because even the kits to do it yourself at home are not cheap, and the places that do it for you are very not cheap. So it worked out well.
I couldn't tell you the difference between that and like the Meguiar stuff, but I can tell you like the Meguiar stuff works really well just by itself. So
yeah, well, I mean, we're also only a couple months into it here. We'll see what happens in years, but as far as what it looks like now, supposedly we don't have to reapply it for like 6 or 8 years. So that's where
I don't know about that. I'll believe that when I see it. But
yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But that's supposedly part of why it costs so much money, because the product is that good. So we'll see what happens. If it has swirl marks in a couple of years or a couple of months, then I'll have a complaint. But in the meantime, it does really well in helping clean the car.
Because I use the Meguiar stuff. I've been doing that like once a year, and then it's got the spray stuff that you can spray after you wash it. So you spray it onto the wet car and then rinse it again and then dry it. So it sort of re-ups it.
Sure.
So that's the way I do it. It's like a little bit cheaper way to do it. You could try one of your older cars for like ceramic coated for like $40 instead of $500.
You could double that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So yeah.
it's not cheap. So, but anyway, I'm sold on its cleaning the properties, because I've washed that mud off of my cars because I've been there many a time, and I've washed obviously road trip bugs off my car, and it's never been as easy as this was. Like you have to scrub bugs normally, and they just fall right off. So I don't know what kind of magic it is, but it's some kind of magic. So. But yeah, so other than that, it went well. No complaints. It was comfortable. The heated seats and the heated steering wheel are nice and toasty when it's 19 degrees out. We did this like...
Oh, see, now you're glad you had them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I already knew I was going to be. I mean, my Volkswagen had heated seats, and I lived here in Phoenix with it in the wintertime, and it gets chilly during the nighttime here in the wintertime. In fact, today it didn't even break 60 degrees. It was downright.
Oh.
I was watching out for ice.
Take a drink. Talking about the weather.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good trip overall. We had one night we're out at like a local park, had like a Christmas thing with Santa Claus. So we had all the nieces and nephews and kids and grandkids and everything went out to that. And we were outdoors, and it was sub 30 degrees, and we were quite cold. We got back in the car, and it warmed us up nicely with its heated seats and steering wheel. So no complaints. No complaints. Modern car talk. Nothing to talk about. So I can talk about the heated steering wheel and the heated seats. So
yeah, exactly right. The little annoyances of like a modern car, which is my major complaint with like every new car reviewer, because cars are so good they have to like really complain about the most minor things.
Yeah. No, it's pretty dumb. There's nothing to complain about. And I think we said it before, like, you can't buy a bad car. You can buy a car that you might not like as much as another one, but none of them are bad. None of them are going to break down within a week of buying them. None of them are going to leave you stranded. None of them are going to be dangerous. I mean, every car on the market is a good car. So some might be better in the longer term, but no car is bad new. So no complaints. speaking of new cars, I do want to get into Camry talk a little bit again.
All right.
To really burn some bridges here. I'll keep it brief, I promise. I'll keep it tangentially Camry related. Speaking of Camrys, I've been driving that hybrid now for 3 weeks. Every day, about 50 miles a day. I've used a half a tank of gas. I'm currently averaging 50.7 miles per gallon in town.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. But here's my complaint. So, I noticed back, actually, let's back this up. It's not about the Camry at all. It's a complaint about traffic in general. And I want to have a conversation with you about the difference between maybe here or there, or if it's just in general now. So I noticed back when I had my Jetta that every time I'd accelerate away from a stoplight, the car behind me would be right at my bumper and looking to get around me in any way possible and making hand gestures if they were annoyed. And I was like, because I was never like accelerating quickly away from the stoplight. I was just driving like what I would consider to be a normal pace. I don't like jumping off the light when it turns green to make sure nobody's going to, run the cross light or anything. You always kind of you ease away, right? And I was annoyed. And I was like, well, maybe this car just accelerates a little slower than most normal new cars because it's a diesel. And I haven't really noticed it because most of my cars have sub 100 horsepower and are from the 70s. So I just chalked it up to that and I never thought much about it. I get the old cars and the same thing happens. And in those, I'm like, whatever. It's a 78 Colt with 85 horsepower. Maybe I'm just in their way. Tough, life goes on. I'll get to the speed limit eventually. So I never really thought much about it. And now I'm driving what I consider to be a pretty normal car every day. A Toyota Camry. And I noticed I pull away from a stoplight at what I consider to be a normal rate of speed. And it doesn't matter what's behind me. They're on my bumper immediately. Like, mad at me for not accelerating faster. And I don't think I've changed my driving style or habit in the entire time that I've been driving. I've never been one to race off of every light just because I like to save money and fuel. And also I don't want to get creamed by a car running a light in a T intersection or a crossway intersection. Have you noticed that people are irritable behind you, or do you accelerate away from the light fast as well?
Yeah, this sounds like either a Phoenix problem or a you problem. But
I don't think it's a me problem. I don't think it's a me problem. I think I grew up driving out there, so I would think it would be the same. I never noticed it there.
I usually have like 2 or 3 car lengths behind me as soon as I take off.
All right. Well, I don't. Because
people are usually accelerate.
No, it doesn't seem to be that.
Everybody's just a drag racer in Phoenix. I don't know.
Well, so in Phoenix, every cross street, you can see the countdown for the crosswalk. So you always know when the light's about to change.
Yeah.
Like, that and the countdown hits 0, the light the other way turns yellow. So people see that light turn yellow and they get ready to go. And the light turns green and they just want to go.
And I think because you've got the grids and they're trying to make it through as many grids as they can.
Except the stupid thing is that the grid system is set up for 40 miles per hour. And if you drive faster than or slower than, you get stuck at light traffic. If you accelerate at a normal, what I consider to be a normal rate of speed, in the same way I've always accelerated from a light.
Do you always
whether
hit
it was
greens?
here or there? If I hit
Every
one
single
green,
time?
If I hit one green, I will hit consistent greens for miles.
Okay. That's the thing. If your timing's off, then it doesn't work.
But their timing's always off, though, because they hit the gas with like full aplomb every time the light turns green and they hit the next red light.
I mean, even if I don't know, if you're sitting in traffic and your timing is a little bit off, then it's not going to work.
I don't know. I get frustrated at people driving so fast, weaving in and out of traffic because they're just going to wind up hitting more red lights. There's even literally street signs that say street lights timed for 40 miles per hour. Encouraging you to do 40 miles per hour.
Is it like a TSD though? Is that like 40 to 40, or does that account for acceleration to 40? You know what I mean?
It must account for acceleration, which is why eventually I hit a red light again. Is my assumption.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm super frustrated by it. And like I'm driving every day. I do, like I said, probably 50 miles a day. And every time the light turns green, I accelerate at what I consider to be a normal rate of acceleration. I'm not going super slow. I'm not going super fast. And it always seems to irritate the person behind me. And I get people.
See, unfortunately, here, lights are not timed that way.
Right.
There's not consistent lengths of blocks.
No, there's not. But I mean, here, somebody will be, because again, all of our streets here, how to explain this to people who don't live here or there. So if you live in Massachusetts and you've ever driven on like 114, that's how every major street in Phoenix is. It's at least 2 lanes in each direction with a center turning lane.
So if you catch a red, will you just keep catching reds?
No, because you accelerate you time yourself with the next one. So when you're driving down the road, you also can see the countdown for the lights. And if you see one that's going to be like, it's under like 9, 8, 7, 6 seconds, and you go through that light and you accelerate to like 41 or 42 miles per hour, by the time you hit the next lighted intersection, you'll be there when there's 15 seconds left. If you go through it at 40 and there's 1 second left, when you hit the next one, there'll be 1 second left and you don't have much of a margin of error. So if you accelerate a little more to like 42, 43 miles per hour, you build up a couple of seconds buffer, and you can do that consistently, and you can get green lights all the way down the major road. This is obviously if there's no traffic, because traffic throws a loop to all of this. But if it's a clear day with no traffic in that area, and you hit that first green light, you can hit every green light until there's a pedestrian crossing, because that's the only thing that screws it up. So I generally don't hit red lights because I know how to work the system. So next time you're here, I'll have to take you for a ride and show you what I mean. But that's how it works on most of the major roads here. Like, Union Hills and Bell Road and all those have the same setup in them. Or like 35th North and South have the same setup on it. So it works pretty well if you know how to use it. Maybe nobody knows how to use it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe nobody pays attention or cares. But my biggest irritation is that everybody just gets annoyed with my rate of acceleration. And I'll be damned if I'm going to change my rate of acceleration to satisfy the person behind me. Because I'm not. It is what it is. So anyway, that's just my rant. I feel like everybody's in a hurry, and they shouldn't be, because it doesn't matter. Drive smarter, not faster, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, well, that's my rant for the episode, Andrew. I wanted to talk to you quickly as well about Forza Motorsport, which is not Forza. What number would it be? 8 or 9?
It would be 8.
It would be 8.
But they just switched it to Motorsport.
Going back to Forza Motorsport. So it's like Forza, as it says in the intro screen, Motorsport.
Forza Motorsport.
I know you've had it for a little bit of time. I've had it for 2 days. I finally got a proper setup for my steering wheel that I've been using attached to a table for a long time. And let me tell you that that makes a huge difference.
It does.
Probably should have spent the $130 2 years ago, but I didn't. So
I one of those set mine up at the beginning of like the pandemic, and I was happy I did. It was very fun. It's been very fun.
At the beginning of the pandemic, I didn't have space in my apartment to set one up, so nor did I have a steering wheel. But I have it set up now. The cool thing is I bought one that's collapsible, because I don't have a huge house. We only have 2 bedrooms, and I'd like to be able to put it away when not in use. So I bought this stand that kind of folds itself up, and I can slide it next to my desk, and it's sort of out of the way when I'm not using it, which is good. I forget the name brand. There's a few. They're all the same. They have like a kind of like an X cross design that folds up, and they have a little thing that flips down to put either the legs of a chair in or the wheels of a office chair, which keeps you like planted in the same position as the pedals the whole time, regardless of pressure point on them. But I feel like the game is significantly enough different from Forza 7 while still feeling the same. My biggest complaint is that the car selection screen, it looks like all the cars have black headlights. I don't understand that. And I'm not quite familiar with the overall layout of the game and how you play the game and, move forward in the game. But I guess it's better than it was when it first came out, I've heard. So that's probably good.
I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. It's that like the menus are kind of crummy, and I don't think the graphics are as good as they could be for what it is. But
it doesn't seem to be a
decent game.
huge leap forward in graphics based on
Yeah.
the last one to this one, especially where it's a new generation Xbox. I thought I'd be
Yeah, it's on the next gen. It's like
a little bit better, but
when you look at videos of Gran Turismo, you're like, wow, that looks really good.
yeah. One thing I did notice is that most of the tracks don't have actual like signage anymore. They have like made up signage, which is weird.
Lime Rock's correct.
Lime Rock is correct. I did notice that, but all the other ones, like a lot of the fantasy tracks, don't have real like sponsorship stickers on them, and they used to.
No,
but they used to. I don't know why they don't anymore. It was just odd to me. It's like made up sponsor names, which is strange. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more and more into it and doing a little bit of a league with our Discord members and whatnot we keep talking about. So yeah, get that set up now that I have the game. I wanted to ask you though, what steering setting do you use?
Whatever was in there so far.
Because there was like
much.
There was like assisted, unassisted, normal, and simulation.
Oh, I use simulation.
Oh, take that off because it's terrible.
I thought it was better.
Oh, I went back to normal and it's way better. I can't even do anything with simulation on. Simulation is like simulated crashing is what it is. It's not even fast. It was just doing weird things that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's not
intuitive at all.
I don't know. I actually haven't played it because I was annoyed with it because again the physics don't feel super accurate to me. I don't know why. Like I don't know how they figure it out.
I think if you go from simulation to normal and do a little practicing there, you'll get a little bit more used to the physics because it felt like a lot more like Forza 7.
Felt like it got better going to simulation, but it's still not right.
Oh god.
Like it doesn't.
I couldn't go through a turn with simulation mode on.
The only thing like I've done a good amount of laps at Lime Rock. So doing Lime Rock in the game, like the car would do things that I'm like, I don't understand why it's doing these things. It would not handle like this in real life. I don't understand why it's doing this.
So that was the same situation I had. My first night of playing it, I went and I got a slow car. And I went to Lime Rock because I'm super familiar with Lime Rock, and I figured a slow car would give me the best,
was it
learning curve. What's that?
Was it rear-wheel drive?
It was, yes. I went with the MGB GT.
Rear-wheel drive is like nearly impossible in the game.
No, I was doing great. Once I turned off simulation, I went to normal. I could not complete a lap in simulation. I went to normal steering, and I can drive the car just fine. And I forget if they're still what classes they are, but it would have been like an F class in the old game. And I was able to run like a 112 around Lime Rock, which seems accurate for an MGB GT.
Yeah.
So,
like I've got a BRZ that I was running laps at Lime Rock, and like top of like fourth gear, it'll suddenly like oversteer. Like the rear tires will lose traction. I'm like, that's not possible. It doesn't have huge power mods.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. Sense. That's the issue I was having in simulation mode. Because I started the game, they give you 3 choices of a car: a Mustang, a Honda, Civic, or a STI. So I chose the Mustang.
Yeah.
Because it was the least normal choice for me. I was like, no, I want to do something outside of my norm. So I chose the Mustang. And with simulation steering on, I couldn't drive the car to save my life. And the same thing, because there's not a ton of power mods. It was a bone stock, 5-liter Mustang. You shouldn't be able to just lose traction mid-turn. And that's what I was doing. I was like, if anything, it should understeer in this situation, not oversteer. And then I turned simulation mode off, and I was able to drive the car properly, and it didn't do random oversteering. It was now understeering as I thought it would.
Yeah, I
I
just
was
have
like,
to try it
this
again.
feels better. Yeah, I put it back to normal mode, and I had a lot more fun with it. So again,
Yeah,
I only have a
basically,
little bit of time into it, so I could be, talking out my butt here, but
yeah, I don't know. I got frustrated and shelved it, and then the new WRC game came out. If you want to talk
right.
about that,
I don't have that yet.
and the physics in that game really really good, like
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good.
I've heard.
That game on a wheel is really fun,
Yep.
and I've been doing this through our Discord. One of our members, Jared, set it up. Chapel. Through it's this other Discord that's just like a WRC Discord. It was a Dirt Rally 2 Discord,
Yep.
but they do like a rally championship, different things. The one we're doing as a team with 4 people is the WRC 2 class, which are basically 4-drive WRC cars, but not without. They don't have the big arrow that the WRC cars have that you see
Okay.
like in the top class. So they're probably like closer to probably an R5 car. And man, driving those in the game, like I'm not super fast, but it makes you feel like a hero driving the all drive car.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
have to give it a go. I haven't.
You can left foot brake and stuff. Like it's really really fun.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a go. I know I had a lot of fun with Dirt. I wasn't nearly very good, but as the rest of the people we play with, but I enjoyed it.
You know, when you watch videos of modern rally cars and they have tons of suspension travel, where you can actually watch the car like rock back and forth.
Yep.
Like you can feel that through the wheel and pedal setup, which is cool, and the way the camera moves on the screen.
Interesting.
So it gives a really good illusion, and yeah, they're very very fun.
Interesting. I wonder if it's going to be as trippy as probably not as trippy as Dirt was through a VR set, but
I don't know. I never played it on the VR.
oh, it spoiled me. It was so good. So, actually, is the new WRC game have VR?
I think people were talking about it doesn't have VR coverage yet. So.
Oh, okay. Because it was a game changer. My mind was blown when I put that VR set on, and at first I was like, whatever, this is weird. And then, but in the menu screens, and then you get to the point where like it sets you in the car, you're just like, whoa, I'm in a car.
Because so you can like turn and like look out the window.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that would be handy.
It's wild. It's absolutely insane. It blew my mind. I had no idea what I was getting into. Like, obviously I know what VR is, but it just absolutely blew my mind. So good. Yes.
I didn't know how to work the body.
I'm immediately thinking of, I think you should leave Sketch as well. But it was an amazing, amazing experience, and it made me like consider purchasing the setup myself. So it was cool.
I was just thinking about, because it was Black Friday, I was like, oh, maybe I should buy a new gaming TV, which I still might, but because TVs aren't really that expensive anymore.
I was gonna say Black Friday deals aren't what they used to be. It used to be like, this TV is normally $1,000. Black Friday it's $600. Now it's like, this TV is normally $600. Black Friday it's $582. So
well, not even that. A 43-inch Vizio. How much do you think that is for gaming?
probably $450.
Not even $250.
That's gross.
It's crazy.
When I bought old man rant time, right? That's what it's gonna sound like. Old man yells at cloud. When I bought my house in 2009 or 8, either way, either end of 8 or end of 9. I think it was on 9.
Yeah, right around that time frame.
My 43-inch Vizio was $1,200.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if you went with me to pick it up or Keith, but I remember buying it and being like, I just spent $1,200 on a television. That's more than I usually spend on a car at the time.
Yeah.
So.
I don't even, I bet the 32-inch, the 12-year-old one that I'm playing on was probably like $400.
Yeah. Well, I know we have.
Granted, it's last like 12 years, and it's
sure
perfectly fine. But
yeah, that 43-inch that I bought brand new in 2009 is still in full function at my sister's house because her toddler was playing a game and threw something and it hit her TV and broke the screen. So my TV was still in Massachusetts because it was inconvenient to move a 43-inch television across the country. And they're so cheap, it didn't make any sense to it. So it was literally just sitting at my parents' house. So now that's in her house now. So it still works too. It's going on what? Oh, 9, it's 15 years old now. So almost. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy that was 15 years ago. Oof.
I've got a Vizio upstairs. Not to go into TV off topic here. I have used the Vizio brand for like a while because, again, another throwback. There's Sony guts, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what we were told back in the day.
It was designed by Sony engineers.
And I haven't looked at other TVs because the ones I've had have lasted so long. I just keep buying them.
We have a 75-inch Vizio in the living room, which I think was like $6.99, and I think it's a 47 next to me here in the office spare bedroom. So they're also both Vizios. So the only one that's not is because it was something that was already in existence that Naomi had before I moved out here, and it's in the garage, and that's I think an LG, but whatever.
And they don't like when you look them up, like they don't sell different ones at like an appliance store versus like a box store. It's all the same TV.
Yep.
So you're not going to get like a better one at a different store.
Yeah, no, it's the same. They're the same everywhere. In fact, even that LG in the garage, I think is probably over 10 years old too. So,
which is why TVs are so cheap, because nobody's buying them.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason to buy them is to get the newest, greatest thing, right? And as long as they have a thin frame around them, there's nothing to really age them. The only thing that ages them is they have a thick plastic frame around them. But anyway, moving on from TVs. Forza, yeah. So simulation steering, hated it.
Yep.
I would try normal steering again if I were you and go back to it and give it another chance. I'd love to get some time trial kind of stuff going with some friends. Maybe some driving in teams.
Now you've got it. We'll have to do some head-to-head stuff.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Well, you only can drive rear-wheel drive cars in simulation mode, though, because I want to not lose every time.
You should be able to go into the Rivals mode and find me under Lime Rock.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. I've just been playing a little bit, and I haven't even driven anything outside of what they start you with. I haven't driven anything in a C class yet either, so I've just been playing with super slow MGB GTs. So it's fine. I'll get there. All right. Next topic. You wanted to play a rousing game of Craig, don't tell me.
Well, you don't have any Project Car updates, right? We already.
I don't have any because I was on vacation.
All right. Let's play some Craig, don't tell me. All right. You want to go first?
Sure. I have a couple I pulled up. I'm going to start with this one because it has a good amount of info. It's a very neat vehicle, and it has a price of interest. So this is a blank. Do we give years? We don't give years. So it's a blank year, blank model, blank manufacturer, blank driveline.
Mm-hmm.
Ultra clean, original matching number, rare condition, fresh build. Get ready to turn some heads with this fresh restoration, just completed with reliability and dependability in mind. This is no project. I'm going to skip over some of this because it doesn't mean anything. Super clean, most complete package in the market today. Comes armed with files of documentation, updated original equipment, extra parts, turnkey, driver with modern day updates and tasteful upgrades. This Rally Edition themed masterpiece pays homage to the classic. Here are the basics. Original matching number, 345 cubic inch V8, tuned by Joe's carburetor. Original 727 automatic transmission and transfer case with original lockers. Original freshly sprayed drivetrain, I assume that means painted, with Dana axles, updated suspension, and undercoating protective sealant. Original sheet metal and glass with a fresh cut buff polish to the Summit white paint. Ignore that because it's definitely not white. I don't know why they put that in there. Original seating with fresh black upholstery. Original dashpad. 5-inch drop shackles. 4-inch RCX lift kit. Premium shocks. AC Delco belts. Grant steering wheel. HID headlights. Evolve tint. Ultimate front and rear steel bumpers. Let's see what else we got here. Everything else is kind of modifications that don't mean much. Removable laminate rear flooring. AC Delco fuel lines. Starts, runs, and drives better than when she first rolled off the factory floor. Okay. I will give you a price for this vehicle.
Okay.
And you can decide whether or not this helps you or hurts you. The price for this vehicle is $59,999.
Okay.
So, do you have any thoughts based on what I said?
Well, it's a 4x4 truck.
It is a 4x4 vehicle. Yes, I said that. It has a 727 automatic transmission and a T-case with original lockers.
So it's, and they're talking about numbers matching. So it's probably something in the 70s.
A 727 automatic with a 345 cubic inch V8.
It's a Chrysler product.
I will not
Ram
confirm
Charger?
or deny. It is not a Ram Charger.
Huh.
I would say that is guess one, and I will give you a little bit of a clue. It is not a Chrysler product.
Oh. All right.
Chrysler did not make a 345 cubic inch V8. They did, however, have a 727 automatic transmission.
Yeah.
Both of which are original to this vehicle.
Okay.
It also has a
All
bunch of AC Delco parts.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know where we're going here. It's a Jeep Scrambler.
It is not a Jeep Scrambler.
It's not a Jeep?
It's not a Jeep,
Really?
actually. I can say that. It is not a brand. It is not a brand that was ever owned, past, present, or future. Well, maybe future, who knows. It is not a brand that was ever owned by Chrysler.
A Jeep?
Not a Jeep. Jeep is
Okay.
now owned by Chrysler. This vehicle was never under the Chrysler umbrella.
Really? Okay.
This one has this manufacturer's engine, the 345 cubic inch, but obviously they used a transmission 727 from Mopar. The optional engine is your next hint. Was a diesel by Nissan.
Oh no. We've talked about this on the Discord. I think this is an International Scout.
There you go. Yeah, International Scout. That was a big hint in that last one there, but yes, a 77
weird.
International Scout.
The mismatch of parts is what threw me.
That's why I chose this one, because it had a lot of info and it had a bunch of weird parts. So it's a lot of money. $59,999 for a Scout that is in very nice condition. But it doesn't have any upgrades. It says all the things about modern upgrades, but it's literally just the carbureted V8 with a lift kit and dumb-looking 20-inch wheels and LEDs. I don't not want it. I would just change the wheels and LED lights and not pay $60,000. But it's cool. So your turn, sir. We'll give you that one after 2 hints.
It's funny that you picked that one because this one, it doesn't have a lot of info, but maybe you'll get it. It's a blank 3 383, 383 V8 727 auto with slapstick shifter.
All right.
Runs and yard drives, brakes work, needs exhaust, tune up, other work to be on the road. Clean title.
Just needs exhaust.
That's all I got for you.
Oh, 727 a slapstick, so it's probably a Challenger.
Yeah.
73 Challenger.
1970.
70 Challenger. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
That was the big indicator of that one. So,
And honestly, the only reason that like I just learned what a 727 transmission was by reading this before you gave me that.
oh,
So,
really?
yes.
Awesome. And I guess my Mopar or no car lifestyle has led me to know what that is. All right, next car for you. I'm just gonna read this ad. It's
Okay.
Here we go. Lauded for meticulous craftsmanship and luxurious amenities, this blank 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 traces its lineage back to the iconic blank series. This example comes finished in a metallic shade of green over a two-tone tan and green interior. It is said to have spent time in California before being acquired by its seller in Arizona from an estate where it was reportedly chauffeur-driven and garage-kept. This classic is now being offered for sale out of Arizona. This blank features an elongated wheelbase compared to the blank, extending the body by approximately 4 inches. This example is said to have been refinished in its current shade of metallic green at a cost of over $8,000 upon the seller's acquisition. Details include the iconic grille, chrome accents, badging, a dual exhaust, 15-inch wheels with Vercelli white wall tires. The opulent, handcrafted interior is upholstered in tan leather with exterior color matching piping, dashboard, and carpets. Burlwood veneers decorate the dashboard and upper door panels, while a black finished steering wheel frames the blank branded instrumentation. Equipment includes chrome trim, rear footrests, and an aftermarket XDM 260 AM/FM CD player. Signs of wear are noted along with some dashboard cracks. Seller reports air conditioning currently inoperable, and the power windows operate slowly. Power is derived from a 6.75 liter V8 with a single Solex carburetor with as much as 200 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque through a 3-speed turbo hydromatic TH400 automatic transmission. Power steering rack and pinion have been rebuilt. Fuel pump has been upgraded. I'll give you the price on this luxurious vehicle. $15,000, open to trades.
Well, it's a Bentley.
Incorrect.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got there pretty quickly.
I was
I should
hoping
have
made that my first guess. I switched him.
I was hoping that the transmission would throw you for a loop.
No, it was the description and then the engine size.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that the 6.75 liter V8 and that turbo hydromatic TH400 would lead you down the path of Cadillac. But
yeah,
alas,
nope. I
was wrong. Yes, this is a 1977 Rolls-Royce Silver Wraith 2.
Yeah.
What's wild
believe it or not,
go ahead.
The way you described it painted a picture of me, like in my mind.
Oh, I thought how I described it, sir. Sir, I did not describe it this way.
Okay.
I was just reading how somebody else wanted you to learn about
the
their
way
vehicle.
The way you put the feeling into it.
Yeah, I guess.
I got wedding car out of it.
Okay. Yeah, if it was a
fancy
white,
wedding
for sure.
car.
Yeah. I think the chauffeur thing was probably also a dead giveaway. Right? I should skip the chauffeur part and just talked about the rest of it. But it is what it is. I actually like the car. What's wild to me is that it's the same year as that Scout. So that Scout is a 77. That brand new was probably $3,000.
Yeah.
And this is a 77. That brand new was probably $55,000. And now the Scout is $59,000 and they're asking $15,000 for the rolls. So it's just that It's a bargain by any other name, Andrew. So,
All right, here we go. Let's see. I'll start here. 17,000 original miles.
brand new.
Only maintained by blank Chuck Tater. Never seen rain. Heated storage with custom cover. Second owner. All receipts and paperwork. Brand new clutch. Infinity 1000 ECU. Tires. All fluids changed and maintained religiously. Car is mint, all caps. And faster than any production car ever made. Beat the Bugatti Chiron from 0 to 200 by 21 car lengths.
What?
Suspension done by blank, blank, blank. Never tracked. Never is all caps. Or abused. Adult owned. It'll be headed to Mecum auction in February where the reserve will be 199,000. There were 8 of these made. And only 2 in this color combo. Who knows how many are left? No question mark.
Somebody should know.
1,039 horsepower to rear wheels. Sounds like an F-16.
Okay. It didn't say anything about the engine other than its horsepower.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to know who Chuck Tater is?
I don't know. I didn't think you'd get it. I couldn't say the other part because it would give away the car. What he's called.
What he's called? He's called
Chuck Tater apparently has a name that would give away the name of the car if I told you.
I'm gonna have to Google this afterwards because I don't want to know. So it's faster than a Veyron, supposedly 0 to 200.
A Chiron.
Okay, and it has how many horsepower?
1,039.
1,039.
Yeah.
So there's no way it's faster than a Chiron. Isn't the
I don't
Chiron
know.
like 2,000 horsepower?
I don't know.
The guy's name's Chuck.
Yeah. Chuck Tater.
All right. So I don't have any idea. Based on solely his name, it's an American car. Because no guy named Chuck is tuning Lamborghinis or Bugattis. So it's an American performance car, obviously, and it's not a stock version. So it's one of the. It's either got to be a Corvette or a Viper or a Mustang. That's. I mean, maybe a Camaro, but I feel like I'd know it if it was a Camaro, just because of my Camaro love. God, what would Chuck build? Well, we're just going to conflate this guy with Chuck Norris. And we're going to say that he builds the baddest Corvettes out there. No. Chuck Norris would have a Dodge because he always had Dodge pickups. I'm reaching now. My joke answer is Viper, but I bet it's a Corvette. It's probably a ZR1 or a supercharged something with slicks on it. So it's faster than a Veyron, but it doesn't turn when it gets to the end, is my guess. So this is gonna be Chuck's Vets, and Chuck's gonna be like Vet Man with the aviators. Chuck Vetman Tater is God, why haven't I've never heard of this guy. I'm mad now. It can't be real. So Chuck's driving Corvettes. So this is probably a C7 because nobody's done much with C8s yet.
Okay.
C7 C7 Corvette.
That's it?
That's my answer.
Not correct.
It's not correct.
Nope, not correct.
It's only 1,000 horsepower.
Yes.
I say that. It's funny now because cars are like ridiculous and 2,000 horsepower is everywhere. Well, Vipers of note are 2,000 horsepower, but maybe it's not a new one. Is it a first-gen Viper?
It is a first-gen Viper.
Nice.
You almost backed into it.
I did, actually, when I said that Chuck Norris would drive Viper.
Yeah. Well, he drove Dodges in the show.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. That's why I changed it to Dodge. All right, let's see. What's how do you spell Tater? Tator? Tater?
Tator.
Tator.
It's the Viper Wizard.
I was gonna say, what's
Chuck
his name?
Tater.
The Viper Wizard.
Yep.
Tater's
So this is
Garage.
a 1997 Dodge Viper Hennessy Venom 1,000 horsepower.
That's more important than Tater. Who the hell's Tater? So Tater
That's
didn't build
the guy who
nothing.
maintained
Tater
it.
maintains it?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Chuck's got a pretty good website.
There are 8 of these made. 2000 Gen 2 GTS. And only 2 in this color combo. So it's the classic blue with white stripes.
Is it a Roadster? Oh, it's GTS, you said.
No, GTS. Which I forever like GTS coupes. Like they're really good looking
Gran
cars.
Turismo. That's a Gran Turismo
They're
love
cool.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And seeing the Orca race cars back in the day.
Yep.
And I got to work with Wildly, a guy that was one of the head engineers on the Viper program.
Oh, that's
at
cool.
one of my last jobs. Yeah. He had a bunch of Viper pictures in his office. It was pretty cool.
I just sent you a link to Chuck's website. It's tatorsdodge.com, TATORS Dodge.com. It's
like Tater Tomater?
It's delightfully terrible.
Like, oh, this is from 1997.
Yeah, 100%. I think it says hosted by Angel Fire on the bottom.
Yeah, this is Web 1.0.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I like that page. So if you go to photo page 2, it's titled Photo 2, The Snake Pit, Lots of Snakes. And then there are 2 pictures on this page. Both of them are just entitled, This is one of my favorite images.
Email the wizard.
This is good stuff.
But this is the guy I want. He's not good at websites. He's good at fixing cars.
Photo 3, more snakes. Snakes of all kinds. More snakes at Tater's Barbecue. Lots of snakes. All kinds and colors of snakes. It's like a kindergartner wrote a book. Boy. Anyway, okay, I do have one more for you before we end this.
Yeah, and then I get one more.
Okay, good. Man, that took us down a rabbit hole, and I'm upset that I didn't stick with my joke answer.
I couldn't. I was like holding my laughter back that you made the jump from Chuck Norris.
Didn't Chuck Norris have a Viper at one point in the show?
He probably did. He definitely drove the Dodge pickups of that generation too.
Like a 97, 98 silver Dodge Ram. Yeah, I remember the show was absolutely hot garbage, but I remember
it was
watching
an ad for Dodge trucks.
I remember watching it with my grandfather, my mom's dad, and it's just it will always have that, like, I don't know, nostalgia worm in my brain because of memories of my grandfather. So I would have already been like 16 or 17, so it wasn't like childhood, but still a core memory of watching that show and watching Nash Bridges with him. So
I liked Nash Bridges too, and I was in 3rd grade and I loved that corny ass Viper show.
Oh, see, I didn't get into the Viper show. Yeah,
I was 8, so it was cool.
All right. I mean, I was only 11. I just didn't like it. I thought it was dumb because I didn't like cars that transformed into things that didn't look like cars anymore. So
it still looked like a car. It kind of looked like a coupe.
It was a dumb car, though.
When you go back and look at the now, like the CGI, you're like, "Whoa, that was
horrible,
real bad."
Have you ever watched an episode of Knight Rider in the modern times? It's absolute garbage. The physics.
I never watched it in olden times.
The physics alone are terrible. All right. I loved Knight Rider just because the car was a car.
No, we've talked about it before. I was more of a Chips. Chips was cool.
I was big in Chips too because it was on TNT at 2:00 when you got home from school.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm well aware. We were across the street from each other watching the same television shows. All right, so let's see. This one here is near and dear. Let's see. Blank, blank, blank with a V6. Only 96,000 miles. 10.5 or best offer. You won't believe the condition of this cream buff. With a B. I assume that's a mistake. It looks like it's no more than a few years old. I got it from the original owner's family, and I have the original bill of sale from when it was purchased new. Interior has nearly no wear, nothing missing, and nothing broke. No crack in dash, original paint, everything works, full power everything, and the digital dash, and in quotation marks for some reason, the digital dash option. I have all the repair records. It had, in the past, the usual dried and cracking door seals from age, but I replaced all the door and window seals completely. The usual headliner and sun visor sags from age, both replace, and I changed color from black to light gray, which brought it up to date and look a ton better. Had the usual oil leak in the remote oil filler adapter. Period. Repaired. Period. I've also replaced the faded rear cargo area carpet and the faded carpet on the metal panel that covers the gap when you fold the seat down. I had the rear tire rack repowder coated because it had rust on it. Transmission was... You got it already?
S10 Blazer.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So... I wish that I had a lot of money. I genuinely do, because if I had
drugs,
if I had the kind of money that I could throw away $10,000 and not think about it, I would buy this truck, and I would immediately put it on a transporter and send it to your dad, because your dad needs a really nice S10. But unfortunately, I can't swing $10,000 to give a gift away. So, it is absolutely stunningly gorgeous. It's under 100,000 miles. I've never seen one with a digital dash before. It has all of the interior pockets over the rear wheel wells. Did yours have that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, none of ours ever did.
Like the zippered pocket. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
See, mine didn't have that.
They had a lot of I think that was still at the time where you could check different options with GM. You wouldn't get packages, you'd get random options.
Well, your dad ordered his brand new, and that's why it's got the two-tone and Steelies, which we'd never ever seen before. So
somebody ordered that and then didn't pick it up. He bought it off the lot.
Well, that's what. Yeah, but he bought it brand new with some of it was a special order.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I'd never seen another one that configured that way.
Yeah, no, I would love to own this vehicle and just. I do. I genuinely wish I had $10,000 because I would just buy this truck, ship it to Massachusetts. Your dad could use it all the time under the condition that I could use it when I came home to visit.
You know what sealed the deal?
Unfortunately, I don't have the $10,000 to do that.
Was the when he said the sagging headliner for whatever reason that
yeah, well, that's every car from that era. They all do it. But I thought so. I skipped over the 4.3 on the V6. I just said V6 because I thought that would be a dead giveaway. And the
swing away rear tire really got it too.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave that out because that was an important clue. I didn't want to give too much, but I also saying this is a near and dear vehicle in the beginning was probably an indicator that it was going to be something that you cared about, for better or for worse. So I'll send you this link in case you're tempted to relieve yourself of $10,000.
Yeah.
So, it's a collector's piece, Andrew. It's only going up in value. So I genuinely like it. I mean, if I didn't have the want for a really clean two-door Raider again, well, not again, a really clean two-door Raider because my last one was not that, I would buy something like this instead. But I genuinely want that Raider. So good guess, Andrew. You're 3 for 3 today, actually. So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Good night for me.
Yeah, very good night. Took a lot of hints in the first one, but we got there. 3 hints, which I guess probably should be the limit. If we want to steal the rules from our friends over at Another Pointless Automotive Podcast in their ad game.
Yeah.
They do a 3 guess, 3 hint rule. So,
all right.
You got one more for me?
One more. All right. Skipping the first sentence. I imported it from Japan 2 years ago, and I've taken my time getting it roadworthy. So, good way to start there.
We know where it's. I already get the country.
Yep. 5-speed manual, 4-wheel drive with the non-turbo single overhead cam 4A30 engine.
It's a Toyota.
I rebuilt 4A30. I rebuilt the top end, so it has a freshly machined head, new head gasket, all new valves, blah blah blah, spark, the whole thing, head job. Basically an engine service that needed at 100,000 miles, but probably didn't get. Moves through all the gears and has a working high-low four-wheel drive switch. Power windows, locks all work. No engine lights, AC works, no rusts. Aftermarket Bluetooth radio, sub, and speakers. Odometer reads in kilometers, so it's 138,064.
4A30 is Mitsubishi. 4A3 is Toyota. That was my thought process there. 4A3C or 4A30 is Mitsubishi diesel. I don't know what exact diesel that is.
I didn't realize it was diesel.
Well, it's got to be because it's a 4A30. It would have to be a
G for gas.
yeah. Well, it's usually D for diesel too, actually. So, but I think the 4A30 is actually, how like it's 4G63, or you could also say G63. I think that's the way those work too. So it should be like a 4D something. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's gas, but
Is it gas?
Yeah, I think it is. I'll send it to you afterwards. But any guesses?
Well, okay. So it's got a 3 at the end, which. So if it's the same naming convention as a 4G63, no, it wouldn't be a 3-cylinder because the 4 is first. It's a 4-cylinder. Unless. No, I don't know. So it's gotta be because their naming culture is always the first number is the cylinder count. So it's gotta be a 4-cylinder. And I don't know. I truly don't know if it's diesel or gas. But you said it's 4-wheel drive?
Yep.
No, the 4D30 is the diesel because that's the
this
one.
is gas.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with this engine name, so it's got to be a small one, like a K truck. So is it a Pajero Mini?
It's not.
Or Junior, I guess I could say. Pajero Junior.
Nope.
I feel like I should know this engine if it's not a K vehicle. Because I don't know anything about the K vehicles. Other than
It's a
they
K
have
vehicle.
Okay, so it's just a little K van?
It is.
Okay, cool. I don't know the name of the Mitsubishi K vans. Do they even have names?
Mitsubishi Minicab.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Got there.
U44V.
Okay. Yeah, man, I am lost on those because we're just talking about this in Discord today. The Mitsubishi naming structure for car engines has always been 4G63, 4-cylinder, 4, gasoline, G, 6 serious engine family, and then 3 the version. So this doesn't go along those lines. 4A30. So that's 4-cylinder, but A doesn't mean gasoline or diesel.
From Wikipedia, the Mitsubishi 4A3 engine is a range of alloy-headed inline 4 cylinders from Mitsubishi Motors introduced in 1993 and the 6th generation of Mitsubishi Minica K car. It shares a 72 millimeter bore pitch with the 3G8 series 3 cylinders.
See, if you said 3G8, I would have known that one because that's the one that's in the Minica Danzan.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's I only got there because I got there, but I don't know this. There's no name for this engine? It's not like Sirius, Cyclone, Astron, Neptune, Orion. It's just Mitsubishi engine. That's weird. I wonder if they just don't care about their K cars, so they don't name them as fun. Yeah, that's it was pure.
I also just learned about the Mitsubishi Pistachio.
Is it green?
It is green.
Are they all green?
Only 50 were made, either Citron Yellow or Loire Green.
I assume it comes with this engine.
It does.
I'm just looking.
It had automatic stop go. And so equipped the Pistachio recorded fuel consumption of 85 miles per gallon
It's pretty good.
for gas only.
Yeah, it was pure guess that this was Mitsubishi because when you said 4A30, my brain went to the 4AC, not 4A3, which is the Toyota. And then you said the number again, and I was like, it must be a Mitsubishi.
Mhm.
That's the way you said it. But it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't fit the Mitsubishi naming convention at all. But maybe they stopped that because this engine didn't come out until the 90s. Maybe they stopped new engines from having that. Because part of what we talked about on the Discord was that the 4B11 doesn't fit any of those naming structures either, other than the first number being the 4-cylinder. So,
I forget what I think the B meant. The numbers mean the block alloy, whether it's steel or aluminum.
the first number always means the engine cylinder count.
I can't remember. I remember learning it in training. It's like 4-cylinder
G for gasoline. And then 6 was engine family. And then 3 was version, which maybe version is whether it's alloy or steel or something.
Yeah.
Because you can get a 4G63 single cam and a 4G63 dual cam, but they're both aluminum head steel block.
Yeah. There was something to denote that the 4B11 was all aluminum, but it doesn't matter right now. We're into the weeds here.
It doesn't matter.
No. Let's wrap it up, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, this minicab is really cool. This is one of the other cars I'm looking for, actually, as local. So, we'll see. Anyway, where can they find us?
The internet.
Yes,
if they're listening there.
Auto Off Topic podcast. Facebook if you want. Auto Off Topic definitely on Instagram. Auto Off Topic on Threads. I'm on Threads, and I'm on Instagram. Race and Anger, same name. And Brad, where can they find you?
They can find me at both Instagram and Threads under the same name, TSISS350. And you can find all of our Scale Car content under Scale Autocast in both places as well. And that's it.
And the podcasts that you're listening to us, we are on like all major platforms. I think I asked this maybe the last episode, but again, if you haven't left a review in a while, just leave us a great review because it helps.
It does.
Yeah, I did. Like we got our Spotify wrap for like the podcast. They actually do one for the podcast owner.
Oh, interesting. You have to send that to me because I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
13
it's
people.
A good amount of listeners on just Spotify, but we're everywhere. So
my Spotify Wrapped was a disaster this year, and I'm quite mad about it.
Yeah, but you'd have to be in the Discord to know about it. So that's the thing. Come join the Discord. Message us. We'll send you a link.
Yep.
And we're going to do some, for the beginning of the year, I'm going to do some Discord specific Auto Off Topic stickers.
Yep. And those hats are in process. I didn't unfortunately get them done in time to bring them home from Oklahoma.
All right.
But they're in process.
Cool.
So,
and I got some other stickers. Some other stickers to sell, and the stickers that are for Discord will just be given away to Discord people.
Yes.
So, anyway, anything else?
I think that's it, Andrew.
All right, cool. So, as always, keep your girls analog and aim for the roses.